Well, hi, all my LGBT friends and others. Um, I got a little sun today. I'm going to try to finish reading Numbers, chapter 33. Hopefully, I can finish all of Numbers. Um, and before I do that, if you have not accepted Jesus into your heart and life, please do so today. We are living in the end times. And I believe that Jesus could come back anytime. He could come back tonight, now, tomorrow. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. You know this. And you don't want to be here on earth when we are raptured away and live through the judgments that are going to be coming upon the earth. Now, I know that there is going to be 144,000 saints here on earth that will be having their own mission, and I believe that God wants us to warn others now and to be ready. So without further ado, please do pray before you listen to God's word, so that you can discern what it is that he's trying to say here. All right. This is 2 and 40 journeys of the Israelites. The Canaanites are to be destroyed. Okay. And this is because why? Their DNA was corrupted. They were not made in the image of God. And what is happening today with our scientists who are going to lands where they won't be identified, where they won't be found out, playing with DNA, like the Zika virus, for example, and the mosquitoes, and they genetically modified those suckers. And so now what are we getting? Babies with shrunken heads. So don't tell me that God is pleased with what's happening. He's not. All right, so these are the journeys of the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron. And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of the Lord, and these are their journeys according to their goings out. And they departed from Ramesses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with a high hand in the sight of all Egyptians. For the Egyptians buried all of their firstborn, which the Lord had smitten among them upon their gods. Also the Lord executed judgments. Before I go on, I just remembered that A.M., my good friend, told me that beeves means beef. So I remembered saying that I wanted to know what that was, and I wanted to tell you, okay? So thank you to A.M. All right, verse 6. And they departed from Sukkoth and pitched in Etham, which is the edge of wilderness. And they removed from Etham and turned again into Pi-hahiroth, which is before Belazaphon. And they pitched before Migdal. And they parted from before the Pi-hahiroth and passed through the midst of the sea until the wilderness, and went 3 days' journey into the wilderness of Etham, and pitched in Marah. And they removed from Marah and came into Elam, and in Elam were 12 fountains of water, 70 palm trees. They pitched there. And they removed from the Elam and encamped by the Red Sea. And they removed from the Red Sea and camped in the wilderness of Sin. And they took their journey out of the wilderness of Sin and encamped in Dophkah. And they departed from Dophkah and encamped in Alash. And they removed from Alash and encamped at Rephidim and there was no water for the people to drink. So they departed from Rephidim and pitched in the wilderness of Sinai. And they removed from the desert of Sinai and pitched at Kibroth Hattaavah. And they departed from Kibroth Hattaavah and encamped in Hazeroth. And they departed from Hazeroth and pitched in Rithmah. And they departed from Rithmah and pitched at Rimah Perez. And they departed from Rimah Perez and pitched in Libnah. And they removed from Libnah and pitched in Rashah. And they journeyed from Rishah and pitched in Kelhelathah. And they went from Kelhelathah and pitched in Mount Shafir. And they removed from Mount Shafir and encamped in Har-Adah. And they removed from Ha-Adah and pitched in Mahilath. And then they removed from Mahilath and encamped at Tahath. And they departed from Tahath and pitched in Tarah. And they removed from Tarah and pitched in Mithkah. And they went from Mithkah and pitched in Hashmonah. Again, if somebody could come up with what these names mean. I know there's meaning. There's 7 meanings in every letter of the Hebrew language, and then 70 meanings, for like each word. Anyway, I just think it would be very interesting to know what these things mean. Okay. And they departed from Hashmonah and encamped at Moseth-Roth. And then they departed from Moseth-Roth and pitched in Ben-e-Ja'akan. And then they removed from Ben-e-Ja'akan and encamped at Hor-Hagidgad. And then they went from Hor-Hagidgad and pitched in Jotbathah. And then they removed from Jotbathah and encamped at Ebranah. And then they departed from Ebranah and encamped at Ezon-Gaber. And then they removed from Ezon-Gaber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. And then removed from Kadesh and pitched in the Mount of Hor, and at the edge of the land of Edom. And Aaron the priest went up to the Mount Hor at the commandment of the Lord and died there in the 40th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 1st day of the 5th month. And Aaron was 123 years old when he died at Mount Hor. And King Arad, a Canaanite, which dwelt in the south in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. And they departed from Mount Hor and pitched in Zalmonah. And they departed from Zalmonah and pitched in Punah. And they departed from Punah and pitched in Oboth. And then they departed from Oboth and pitched in Arim, the border of Moab. And then they departed from Aim and pitched in Dibon-Gad. And they removed from Dibon-Gad and encamped in Almon-Dab Lathamaim. Oh, I'm butchering these. I'm so sorry. And they removed from Almon-Dib Lathamim and pitched in the mountains of Ab-Arim before Nebo. And then they departed from the mountains of Ab-Arim and pitched in the plains of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho. And they pitched by Jordan from Beth-Jaamoth even unto Abel Shittim in the plains of Moab. And the Lord spoke unto Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you are passed over Jordan in the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their pictures, and destroy all their molten images, and quite pluck down all of their high places, their conquest. And you shall dispose of the inhabitants of the land and dwell therein, for I have given you the land to possess it. And you shall divide the land by lot for an inheritance among your families. And to the more you shall give the more inheritance, and to the fewer you shall give the less inheritance. Every man's inheritance shall be in the place where his lot falleth. According to the tribe of your fathers you shall inherit. But if you will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which you let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your side, and shall vex you in the land wherein you dwell. Moreover, it shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them. Okay, let us end there and start on chapter 34.